For those unfamiliar, EuroBasket is no ordinary competition. Held every 4 years, it is the European Championship of basketball, and unlike the NBA, this stage is soaked in centuries of rivalry. Nations that once fought wars now meet on the hardwood. Pride, identity, and legacy are on the line. No Team USA here, no Canada, just Europe. It's powerhouses and it's underdogs. To win EuroBasket is, for many, even more important than an NBA title. Jokic has said it. Giannis has said it. And Luka himself made it clear. If forced to choose between NBA glory and a gold medal for Slovenia, he'd take Slovenia every time. But back in 2017, Slovenia was nobody's favorite. A tiny country of just over 2 million people, with little basketball pedigree and almost no track record on the international stage. They had never won an Olympic medal, never captured a FIBA crown. Their roster looked thin on paper. Goran Dragić, respected but not superstar NBA guard, Anthony Randolph, a former NBA journeyman, and a handful of EuroLeague players, most of them role players at best. Then there was the teenager, Luka Doncic. Unproven at the senior international level, seen by many as a curiosity more than a weapon. Nobody could have predicted what was coming. Slovenia opened the tournament against Poland, scraping through a tough fight thanks to Dragic's brilliance. But it was Luka who raised eyebrows. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. The kid filled the stat sheet like a veteran, playing with poise far beyond his years. Then came Finland, led by young NBA lottery pick, Lauri Markkanen. Luka struggled offensively but contributed in the margins, grabbing rebounds, defending, and moving the ball. Slovenia survived, and with each game, the whispers grew louder. Maybe this little country wasn't so little anymore. The third game was the test. Greece. Stacked with EuroLeague legends and the Antetokounmpo brothers, this was a team with pedigree, with size, with power, but it was Luka who owned the night. 22 points, 7 of 12 shooting, hitting from deep, driving with confidence, attacking without fear. Slovenia shocked Greece, and suddenly the tournament's landscape shifted. By the time they dispatched Iceland and then humiliated France, team filled with NBA names like Fournier, Doe, and Nando de Colo, Slovenia stood undefeated in the group stage. Still, people doubted. A Cinderella run is one thing, but this was supposed to end when the real contenders arrived. In the knockout stage, every possession carries the weight of history, and Slovenia entered with no pedigree to lean on. Against Ukraine, Dragić faltered, but Luka stepped forward, nearly posting a triple-double to carry his nation into the quarterfinals. Waiting there was Latvia, armed with a prime Kristaps Porzingis, an NBA All-Star, a 7'3" unicorn, averaging 23 a game. This was supposed to be the wall Slovenia could not climb. Porzingis dominated, scoring at will, raining threes, dunking in transition, but Luka refused to flinch. Step-backs, deep threes, fearless drives. In the fourth quarter, he went toe-to-toe with Porzingis and outdueled him possession by possession. 27 points, 9 rebounds, clutch shots with the game on the line. Latvia pushed. Porzingis poured in 34, but Slovenia held, carried by Luka's magic and Dragic's steady brilliance. The win wasn't just a result, it was a statement. Luka Doncic was no longer a prodigy. He was a force. Now, the semifinals. Spain, the Giants, the Dynasty. The Gasol brothers, Ricky Rubio, Juan Carlos Navarro. Champions of Europe 3 times in the last 4 tournaments. Olympic silver medalists. A generation of legends who had stared down Team USA and lived to tell the tale. For Slovenia, this was supposed to be the end. Instead, it was the night they announced themselves to the world. Luka controlled the tempo, dishing, rebounding, and scoring when needed. Dragić poured in points. The defense smothered Spain's big men. And slowly, surely the impossible unfolded. Slovenia didn't just beat Spain, they destroyed them by 20 points. Cameras caught Pau Gasol, shaking his head in disbelief. The mighty had fallen, and it was at the hands of an 18-year-old phenom, and a country nobody thought belonged. The final loomed, Serbia. Another powerhouse with Bogdanovic, Boban Marjanovic, and a roster stacked with EuroLeague stars. The atmosphere was electric, a clash of neighbors with history and tension thicker than smoke in the air. Slovenia started hot, Dragić catching fire, dropping 26 points in the first half alone. Luka added his bursts of brilliance, and the role players, men whose names rarely reached headlines, rose to the occasion. Prepelic drilled shots that swung momentum. Randolph battled in the paint. By halftime, Slovenia held a 9-point lead. But basketball always delivers its heartbreak, and in the third quarter it came. Luka landed awkwardly, his ankle twisting, pain etched across his face as he limped off. Just like that, Slovenia was left without their teenage closer, and Serbia smelled blood. The lead shrank. The crowd grew restless. The weight of history threatened to crush them. This was the crucible. Champions are forged in moments when everything falls apart. Dragić refused to let go. He attacked the rim, hit pull-up jumpers, steadied his team. Prepelic buried a clutch three. The defense clawed, the rebounding held, and possession by possession, Slovenia survived. When the final buzzer sounded, the score read 93-85. Slovenia, the tiny nation of 2 million, had done it. EuroBasket champions, undefeated, 9 wins, 0 losses. The first gold medal in the country's history. Dragić dropped 35 in the final, earning tournament MVP. But everyone knew this story belonged just as much to Luka Doncic. He averaged over 14 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists across the tournament. He was named to the All-EuroBasket first team, he was crowned Young Player of the Tournament, and more than any number, he gave Slovenia belief. An 18-year-old had walked into one of the most competitive basketball tournaments in the world and stood tall against veterans, superstars, and legends. He had knocked down Greece, silenced France, outdueled Persephassus, dismantled Spain, and helped carry his country to a title. That summer defined Luka Doncic. It wasn't just about the points or the rebounds. It was about composure, about fearlessness, about proving that greatness doesn't wait for age. Before he even stepped onto an NBA court, Luka had achieved what Giannis and Jokic still chase, a major international gold. He had already become the most accomplished teenager basketball had ever seen. Rookie of the Year, EuroLeague MVP, Finals MVP, a championship with Real Madrid, and now EuroBasket glory with Slovenia. By 19, his resume was already Hall of Fame worthy, and yet somehow, in the 2018 NBA draft, he wasn't selected number 1. Teams doubted. Critics whispered. But Luka had already shown the truth on Europe's biggest stage. He wasn't just destined for greatness, he was already living it. So when we talk about Luka magic, it isn't just the stepbacks in Dallas or the buzzer beaters in the NBA. It started in 2017, in the fire of EuroBasket, where an 18-year-old kid from Slovenia proved to the world that legends can be born overnight. Now, the question is yours. Where do you rank Luka Doncic's EuroBasket run among the greatest feats in basketball history? Was he the greatest teenage player the sport has ever seen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives, and click the video on screen to continue the story.